All right, what's up, everyone? Jammer here from Jammer's Wrestling Magazine Collection, and today I finally picked up the new Pro Wrestling Illustrated for the women's top 250 in professional wrestling. Of course, this originally started out as a PWI top 50 for the women, and it went to like 100 and 150, and it's finally grown to 250, which is pretty impressive, pretty cool. It goes to show that women's wrestling is a very important part of professional wrestling and sports entertainment still to this day, probably more so now than it was 10 years ago. So, as you can see, based on the cover, the number one went to Rhea Ripley. That's right, the 6'4" tall Rhea Ripley. No, she's not really 6'4", but somehow the WWE wants to make you think that she's 6'4". She is maybe on the taller side compared to some of the other women there, but the way they build her up, they make her seem like she's Kevin Nash or Kane or something of the women's division. However, with that being said, I don't hate Rhea Ripley. I'll say that right now. I don't hate her. I don't like her either. To me, she's kind of just there, and I know she's a part of the Judgment Day. If for anyone who's following WWE, you know the deal there with that. And I liked Rhea when I first saw her about, I guess it was 5 years ago, maybe, whenever the Mae Young Classic was, when she had the long blonde hair, and she just looked really pretty. And but now this is what she looks like. So there's that. Okay, let's take a look here at who the top girls are. So we know Rhea's number one. Now number two goes to Giulia. I don't know. I've never even heard of her, but apparently she's number two. Looks like she wrestles in Mexico, I believe. I want to say I just saw her on the old Facebook, and apparently Triple H wants to sign her, so she must be a big deal. Bianca Belair came in at number 3, and Jamie Hayter from AEW came in at number 4. That's not too bad. That makes sense, I suppose. This person I've never heard of, Tam Nakano, comes in at 5. And Athena, who used to wrestle as Ember Moon in the WWE, comes in at number 6. I believe she is the Ring of Honor Women's Champion. Number 7 goes to Deonna Purrazzo, who was a huge star in Impact Wrestling, which will now soon be called TNA Wrestling again. She dominated that division with the Knockouts title, and I believe the tag title, too, she held there. Number 8 went to Willow Nightingale. I don't really care for her. AEW keeps shoving her down our throats, and I don't see anything special about her. I don't know. She doesn't do anything for me. Number 9, Camille. Now Camille is the China of pro wrestling for women. She, not Rhea Ripley. This woman here needs to be in the WWE eventually one day, and I hope she gets there. And of course, number 10 goes to Jordynne Grace, who I liked better years ago. I thought she looked better then. She went all roided up because she did muscle shows and whatnot, like fitness shows, and she had to look the part, right? And I just thought she looked really, really better before than what she ended up looking like. But she, of course, is in Impact as well. And there, you see, wow, that's an up-to-date photo of Toni Storm too. That's what she's doing now in AEW, and I didn't think she was doing it that long to actually be in. I figured she would still be the social, what are they called? Social outcast with Ruby and Saraya. So Tiffany Stratton should have been higher than number 25. I'll just say that right now. I thought she dominated NXT, and she is awesome. The only wrestler since Christopher Daniels to hit an awesome moonsault combination. You know how Christopher did the best moonsault ever, jumping on each rope? Of course, Tiffany has the PME, the prettiest moonsault ever, and it really is. She is, and plus she's easy on the eyes too, which helps, right? So let's see who the last woman here is. Who got 250? Curious to see. I don't recognize any of these ladies so far. which doesn't shock me. I don't really watch women's wrestling. Not that I hate it or anything. I just don't watch Shimmer and all those companies. Yappy. Yappy came in at 250, whoever Yappy is. So cool. 241. That's Rebecca Scott. She looks nice. So good for her. Anyways, so yeah, and there's Kairi Sane. She's now back with the WWE. I don't know. I'm kind of confused as to how Becky Lynch, and even Io Sky and Trish Stratus and Charlotte Flair, or even Asuka, how weren't they in the top 10? Like, who? I get that there's women wrestlers all over the world, different promotions and such, but Pro Wrestling Illustrated really needs to go back to catering to the casual fan and do kayfabe stories. They need to get off this everyone's a smart mark and they know everything. No, that's not the case. And even if we are, we don't want to be reminded of that. I love reading old wrestling magazines because they're made up stories for the most part, and they're amazing, and they're creative, and they're fun, and they take the photos of things and put them in these made up stories, and you actually think it's real. You start to believe it because of all the work and dedication the likes of Craig Peters and Bill Apter and them, and Stu Sachs, all those guys did. And now I saw the guy who's like head of PWI now, and he's like the typical meme that you see, the cartoon meme of like the big guy with the neck beard who lives in the basement. That's who the guy looks like. And I'm not trying to be mean by saying that, it's just he does. And it's kind of sad that the guy who's running PWI now is like the ironic joke of what a wrestling fan is, and we're getting that now with each magazine. Why do I buy them still? Because I like wrestling magazines, and I still like some things about them. But I mean, there's an interview in here from what I understand, from what I read. I'm pretty sure it's in here. Let me see. There's a nice shot of CM Punk there. Now, is he going to show up at Survivor Series? Let me know if you think he will. I don't know. I thought the interviews with Rhea Ripley. I thought I read online that there was something in here with Mariah May, the newest AEW signee, but maybe not. Maybe, like, what is that? Who are these people? That's what I mean. It's just, oh, look at that. They have the Achievement Award, so you can pick. All right, top candidates for Rookie of the Year. Let's take a look here. I don't know any of those people. Why isn't, like, people in the WWE on there, right? Like, where the hell are the rookies there? Why isn't Logan Paul on the list? Was he on last year's list? I don't even think he was, but why? Still, whatever. Most improved. Well, see, I know who Julia Hart is. Mariah May, yeah, because I just mentioned her. LA Knight. Thea Hale, she's in NXT. And Trick Williams. Okay, so there's some NXT WWE guys there. Comeback of the year. You can pick Trinity, Trish Stratus, Saraya, Adam Cole, Andrade, Kota Ibushi, Miro, Nikita, Roderick Strong, or Vanessa Craven for those. Well, there's some names. At least I know, 95% of those names. Inspirational Wrestler of the Year. Who's Mina Shirakawa? If anyone out there knows, let me know. Cody Rhodes, Richard Holiday, Mark Briscoe, Alex Kane, Billy Starks, Lena Vega, Robert Martyr, Mickey James, and Tiffany Neves. Like, I mean, Mark Briscoe would probably win that because of Jay passing away earlier this year. Most Popular Wrestler of the Year. You can choose from Cody Rhodes, Sami Zayn, Mercedes Moné, who is Sasha Banks, Adam Page, Alex Kane, who I've never even heard of, John Moxley, Trinity, LA Knight, Willow Nightingale, that Gilia girl or whatever again, MJF, Bianca Belair, Tetsuya Naito, Kenny Omega, Hijo del Vikingo, Carmelo Hayes, Chris Jericho, Psycho Clown, CM Punk, and Pentagon Jr. So yeah, I know a lot of WWE and AEW guys there. That's all right. Most hated: Dominic Mysterio, Christian Cage, Roman Reigns, Jack Perry, Sam Adonis, Saraya, MJF, CM Punk, Chris Jericho, Juice Robinson, Don Callis, Evil, Swerve Strickland, Chelsea Green, Darius Carter, Logan Paul. Oh, there's Logan Paul. Okay, and QT Marshall. Well, Dominic Mysterio is probably going to win that one, right? Feud of the year. Well, yeah, there's some, like, who the hell is Sam Adonis and Psycho Clown, right? Whatever. Back in the old day, if you look at these, who you can vote for, it was all just like WWF, WCW, ECW, USWA. It's companies you know or knew or watched on television. Indie Wrestler of the Year, that's just fucking stupid. I mean, I've thought it was stupid for a while, and I still think it's stupid. Matt Cardona should win every year. The guy's the fucking indie god. Match of the year. Let's see, who do we got? There's a lot of matches there. I'm not going to read them off. I'm sure it's going to go to these two guys who wrestled in Japan in a small arena for 17 stars by Dave Meltzer, who whacked off, as Billy Corgan would say. All right, Tag Team of the Year. I don't know. Who's going to, like, look at that. There's FTR. Who's Bishamon? Aussie Open. I know them. Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn. Better Than You, Baby. Oh, Jesus. Motor City Machine Guns, MK Ultra. I believe that was when Ultra Magnus tagged up with another Autobot and they formed MK Ultra. The Usos, the Rascals, Young Bucks, Rose Gold, Samoan SWAT Team. Really? Fatu and Samu are back together again? ABC and Bussy? Oh my God. Faction of the Year. The Bloodline. Well, they better win. That'd be stupid if they didn't. Blackpool Combat Club, Bome Fight Club, The Judgment Day, Jericho Appreciation Society, Cosmic Angels, Lost Toxicas? Bullet Club Gold, The Calling, The Outcast. The Calling, they were a music band from like the year 2000. It's good to see they're in wrestling now. The Outcast, United Empire, and Zebrats. Okay. Not to be confused with dolls that you can buy at Walmart. Women of the Year. We got Rhea Ripley, Bianca Belair, Masha Slamovich, Jugulia again, Jamie Hayter, Jade Cargill, Camille, Chris Statlander, Britt Baker, Hikaru Shida, Trinity, Deonna Purrazzo, Tam Nakano, Toni Storm, Tiffany Stratton, Miyu Yamaisha, Alice Inc. And Wrestler of the Year goes to either you can pick Seth Rollins, Roman Reigns, Jon Moxley, Athena, Kenny Omega, Will Ospreay, Heel del Vikingo, Bryan Danielson, Rhea Ripley, Josh Alexander, Jake Lee. Really? Jake Lee? Okay. Bianca Belair, Gunther, Titan. Wasn't that like Braun Strowman's name on the Indies? Mike Bailey, Masha Slamovich, and Shigehiro Itari or whatever. So a lot of sneezes there. All right. So this is the magazine for this month. It's January 2024. You got Mommy on the cover, and it's available until December 12th for $7.99. So there you go. If you want to pick that up, go for it. It's at your local Walmart, Shoppers Drug Mart, or any other variety store, or some sort of department store, wherever they sell magazines. It's probably there. It's probably the only wrestling magazine there. Speaking of which, I did say, I left a comment on PWI's Facebook page to bring back Inside Wrestling, The Wrestler, and Sports Review Wrestling. There is way too much wrestling out there right now that there's no reason why we can't have all those magazines. Now, I know the print era, the magazine era is kind of passe, but it can't be that passe if they can still release the Pro Wrestling Illustrated magazine on newsstands and people are still buying them. I know I am. I'm sure other people are too, because every time I go into these stores like Walmart or Shoppers Drug Mart, the wrestling magazines go less and less as the month goes on. So people are buying them. I don't know who these people are. I wish I knew, because I would love to talk to them in my town about wrestling mags. It'd be cool even to have them on this show and just discuss favorite wrestling magazines or favorite wrestlers from the magazines, whatever, right? Anything like that. It would be cool. But yeah, so there you go. But no, they don't seem to want to do that. And I mean, look at you have the WWE with NXT, Raw, and SmackDown. You have AEW with Ring of Honor as well. You got and New Japan Pro Wrestling along. You got Impact Wrestling. You got MLW. You have NWA with Billy Corgan. You have like XPW with Rob Black is even back again, right? Like, geez. And then you have all the Mexico feds and Japanese feds that PWI likes to tell us about, because they tell us these wrestlers I've never seen. Plus, you got the women wrestling federations out there now. So there is no reason not to have multiple magazines with the kayfabe stories. I would love it. It would be so much fun again. But, you know, they can't have that. They must have it to cater to the smart marks of the world who just end up hating everything about wrestling anyhow. And I tell you one thing, people, my life for being a wrestling fan became a hell of a lot easier once I stopped following the dirt sheets and reading about things. Things started to really improve in my enjoyment for wrestling. So just think about it, right? If you're out there and you're reading the dirt sheets and you're wondering why you're not enjoying wrestling, try just not reading the dirt sheets for 6 months, and you might actually start to enjoy watching wrestling again. So, yeah. All right, that's my video for today. Just, you know, talking about this magazine. So, yeah, if you're a fan of Rhea Ripley or a fan of PWI or a fan of wrestling magazines in general, hit your local variety store, Walmart, Walgreens, Target. What else is in the USA? I don't know. Every store in the USA that sells wrestling figures that Canada doesn't. Go there. You'll probably see the magazine. For us Canadian folk, hit your Shoppers Drug Mart, hit your Walmart, hit your random variety store that's like on the corner where you get gas and cigarettes from. And I'm sure that magazine is there for you. All right. Until I do my next one, I will talk to you guys later.